Hi, I'm Kelsey, and this is my van Bertha. She's a 2008 Dodge Sprinter 2500 170 wheelbase. I actually have always kind of known that I was going to be a van life person from 8 years old. I remember my Aunt Peggy had a conversion van. I used to love that thing. I would hang out in it when we would go visit in the summers. So I was crushing on van life for a while. During COVID, I actually worked for a corporate company in Pittsburgh. I lost my job due to COVID, and it was kind of my opportunity to sell everything that I owned, buy a van, and finally fulfill my dream of moving out west. I used to race mountain bikes and just ride a lot, so I was into that lifestyle. So I use this van primarily for traveling and mountain biking. All right, come inside, let's check it out. We're here inside of Big Bertha, and this was my very first van. This was my very first build. I did it all myself. I had a couple friends help me, some family members, my brothers, my dad. But overall, I was just looking to see how I felt about van life. I didn't want to spend a lot of money building this thing out the first time. This was kind of my little budget project. Everything in here is very simple. I wanted to have a place to keep my food, a place for my bikes, and a place to sleep, and a dry place over my head, and that's basically what I have. Like I said, I didn't want to spend a lot of money with my first van build, wanted to really try out this lifestyle. So a lot of what you see here is found, refurbished, donated. The fridge I bought brand new, and the sink was on Amazon, but pretty much everything else I sourced from my dad's garage where I found these cupboards. So my sink is very simple. I'm a very analog person. So it's just a foot pump with 2 water reservoirs and a gray water tank. I love this cheap little sink I found on Amazon. Ceramic sits above. I think it just gives this area like a nice, clean barnwood feel. I found this countertop from a family friend who had a lumber yard. So I sanded it and stained it. My dad helped me install this countertop.
I'm Nate Murphy, author of the Van Conversion Guide, and I just want to let you know that I'm running a free online training which will teach you how to make van life free or profitable. I will show you how to choose a van and build it out and avoid the one big mistake that most people make. I will show you how I made van life completely free and a bunch of other stuff that people don't really talk about. If you'd like to join, click the link here or in the description, and I'll see you there.
This wall was made on a spur of a whim. I found a pallet on my dad's property and ripped it apart, built this wall in an hour one evening when I was trying to figure out what to do with this space. My cook stove is just a simple camp stove, single burner, pots and pans, really portable. I can cook outside or I can use the counter space inside if it's raining. The refrigerator is probably the nicest piece of my van. Large, lots of room for drinks, beer, vegetables, lots of food. I've used this refrigerator. I've stocked it full. When I have goodies in here, I can live off like 2 weeks. What else? My cupboards. Building cupboards in a van is very hard. Nothing is square. So these took a while, but I had a friend help me with measurements, and just very simple. If you look close, you can tell that I built them. Pots and pans, coffee cups, dishes. Super simple. I think I'm really good at utilizing small spaces. I always have loved smaller spaces instead of like big homes. So I try to utilize things efficiently and have my spice rack on the wall here, my knives and everything on my magnetic holder. These are really awesome. They don't fall when you're driving, even on rattly dirt roads. Everything kind of stays in place, even with the metal knives and the metal bar here. So these have worked out really well for me. Just saving space and keeping everything really organized is important in a van. All right, so this corner of my van is my living space, my bed. I have a wardrobe in here because I was living in my van for a brief period of time, able to keep a decent amount of clothing in 4 drawers and some hanging things and some shoes. I actually fit a lot more than I probably needed in this wardrobe. More cupboard storage space where I mostly keep toiletries, things like that. A little sitting bench just for the sole purpose that this is my solar box. This is my house battery where all my power comes from for the lights, the refrigerator, the phone chargers. The house battery also runs my diesel heater in the wintertime. That is a major game changer for this van, being able to park it at ski resorts, live in it in the winter. That heater is quality and it just blasts out great heat. I have my bed space here. It's a full-size bed, more storage space for clothing and things like that, blankets up here. And then underneath I have my garage space, which I'll show you a little bit more from the back. So here we are in the garage part of Big Bertha. So the garage was built mostly around this bike storage that I have. 2 bikes can fit on this sliding platform. Traveling in the van was a big part for me about traveling to ride. So I knew that I needed to be able to fit my bikes in here. And then this extra storage here is for gear. Right now it's just holding a stand-up paddleboard and some cleaning supplies, but I can fit a lot of my gear and miscellaneous outdoor items in this space. Over here we just have a little section where I have oil and things I might need on the road. I use the van for my work. I am a photographer. I travel a lot for weddings, couples, family shoots, and I use the van when I'm traveling to sleep in instead of a hotel. I couldn't live my life without having this van. It's just the best decision that I made 5 years ago, and I've absolutely loved it. Life has shifted a bit for me. I used to travel with my dog, and I recently lost her in December, so things aren't quite the same. This summer, I just recently started renting my van Bertha out on Outdoorsy because I want to keep the spirit of van life and adventure alive. So you can find her. I'm based in Bozeman, Montana, and you can find her on Outdoorsy if you're interested in traveling to Yellowstone National Park, Glacier National Park, the Grand Teton Loop. Come hang out with us and check out Montana. Cool.
If you didn't notice, I am offering a free online training which will help teach you how to make van life free or profitable. In this video, I will show you exactly how to buy a van, how to fit it out in a profitable way, and teach you how to avoid the mistakes that most people make, and all the other stuff that almost nobody else talks about. If you are thinking about converting a van or living van life, it'll be one of the most valuable things you will ever watch. Just click the link, register for free, and I'll see you there. Another great place to start is to get the van conversion guide. It's packed with useful information and includes 20 video lessons to help you convert a van. Check our website, all the information is there.